Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Ed from Edge Plays. With me today is N7Kate and Dante.
Hello there.
Hello.
This is a first for me, so please forgive me if I sound a bit unusual. We're starting what's called an Edgecast or podcast. The name is still pending at the moment, but I think Edgecast probably.
Quite like
probably
Edgecast.
I like it.
I like it. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah. We haven't worked out. I haven't worked out yet exactly how frequent it is. It might hopefully be every week or every fortnight, but this is something I want to do regularly. People will come and go in terms of the guests today.
Mhm.
Kate and Dante are joining me today. Might get swiping next time in Crack On Gaming's Fish, so we'll see. And then anyone else who might want to join later on, we'll go from there. But yeah, just going to be a general gathering of what we're going to talk about, like our likes of the week, what we've been playing, what we've been enjoying. So yeah, should I start off with what I've been up to, or does anyone want to start off what they've been up to first?
You can start off if you want, Edge, and then we'll follow.
You're the leader.
Cool. Well, I've not been making much video content the last couple of weeks because I have been kind of playing a little bit of all sorts at the moment. Let's see. Well, I went to the cinema recently to watch the new Dragon Ball Superhero, which is great. I mean, Dante, you went to see with me Broly when that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Broly was good.
Oh God, yeah. I still like go yes to that film. So this is the newest film that's come out. It's different in terms of the animation style because it's in 3D, which
Oh, okay, that's weird.
yeah, and it does work most of the time. I think there's the odd occasion where you go, I don't know about that hover car kind of scene, but in terms of the look, they do a really good job of it, and it's the first film that does not focus on Goku and Vegeta. It focuses on Piccolo and
How
Gohan
refreshing!
and
Wow.
Videl.
Okay, I'm more interested now.
So you probably know who Videl is. Videl is Gohan's daughter, Goku's granddaughter.
Mhm.
She's free in this film. Piccolo, and yes, it's a Piccolo and Gohan movie, pretty much. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. I won't say too much because, as we both know, I can unintentionally spoil things. But I would say if anyone hasn't seen it yet, please support it. Please go. They didn't really announce it very well in terms of broadcasting it. I only found out that they were doing it in the cinema by checking the Cineworld kind of app and website. But I wish they had some like posters for it. But it's if anyone doesn't realize, I'm a giant Dragon Ball nut.
The biggest.
Well, I do have a advent calendar for Christmas, which has basically pop figurines with little Dragon Ball Z characters in them. So every time
Cheated pop finals.
yeah, pretty much. So when the advent calendar starts, I'm like, well, who's going to be today?
I want a Mass Effect Advent calendar so badly.
They probably will make one.
Oh my god, I'd be there. Mini
Got-
Tally, mini Garrus. I
Got
want it.
enough characters, hasn't it?
Yeah, maybe not as many as Dragon Ball.
No.
No. I will admit, I the only time I never really grew up on Dragon Ball, right? So I came to anime quite late, if I'm honest. But the thing that got me into Dragon Ball is actually playing Kakarot. Yeah, and it was so cool to play that game because I know that a lot of the Dragon Ball games repeat the same story, right? Again and again. It seems to be a thing. But I had never heard or seen the story, watched the story. So I played Kakarot and I'm like really into it. like really into it. Friggin' loved it. And then I'm like, I have to watch all the movies. And so I am actually up to date.
All the movies.
I am up to date.
Movies are good.
No, but I watched the ones that you recommended to me, and I think Dante and I ended up like binge watching them, didn't we, Dante? Like at home.
the more canon ones we had access to.
Yeah, the crazier ones. So yeah, I guess I'm up to because I did watch Broly. I watched Broly.
Years. I spent fucking years trying to get you to watch Dragon Ball, both of you.
And it was Kakarot that got me into it.
Yeah.
I think I watched about 30 odd episodes of Kai, when they kind of rebooted it and cut out the filler.
Which is great.
But then I lost the source for it, so I never actually finished it. So, and anything after Cell Saga, I was always a bit iffy on. I never knew what happened. They
kind of peaked at the Cell because, in theory, you could have ended the story at Cell. And it was kind of the villain, which was Majin Buu, which you saw probably in the Kakarot games.
Yeah.
and in the Super, the movies and stuff like that. He's he's not like the best villain, but he has got the most hacks abilities of anything they've ever faced. And there was a lot of like some of the fandom were like, oh my god, they've kind of ruined Gohan, but made him cooler as well. It was very much kind of it was an okay it was an okay arc. I enjoyed it in most of the part because it introduced things like Super Saiyan 3, Fusion, Vegito. So there was some good elements to the arc. And then when Z finished, the thing about Super, which is interesting, which not many people are aware of, is that it happens before the end of Z. So
Alright.
it's basically after the events of the Boo saga, Super starts, but Super is still technically happening before the end of Z. But it's going to be awkward now, potentially, because I don't know if they can keep the canon ending of Z because of what's been going on currently in the story and in the
Okay.
manga at the moment as well, which is hilariously insane. I guarantee you're going to go, what the heck? If you when they do animate it, apparently the rumor is that the Super's coming back, animated wise later on. Speaking of anime, which I am more looking forward to in October coming up, Bleach is coming back.
Oh, is
Oh,
it? That's
I
been a
did
big gap
hear.
since obviously the end of it.
Well,
final
Because
story arc.
it didn't finish it, right?
didn't it
Like it
get
was
cancelled out
unfinished.
for being so much filler that they were like, no, we're stopping this now.
Well, I mean, like Naruto was notorious for it. One Piece, maybe not so much. The Paul get hate for that one, in fairness. But no, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball. There's a few shows that do put in a lot of filler, but with Bleach, this is the final story arc. So this is the 1,000-year Blood War, and it answers all the questions that you probably had about why is Ichigo OP. He's the main character, but how does he have all these abilities? It goes a little bit more into the main villain, and like I'm looking forward to them animating it because there's some really fun fights. But I also hope that they fix some of the issues of the final act because it kind of again they kind of rushed it as it were. So I say they rushed it. I feel like they did rush it. So I'm hoping that they kind of give it a good send off because the trailer for it looked great in terms of the animation quality. They did a revamped up music for number one. They wanted this theme song OSTs from the original Bleach. If anyone hasn't seen
Do
the
like
trailer
number
for
one.
it, watch it. What I will send you the trailer if need be. It looks good. So me and swords, yeah. So yeah, there was something coming up. What else? Gaming wise, in the last couple of weeks, month or so, been playing with Strife, Monster Hunter Sunrise, Rise Sunbreak, which has been really good fun. I've been playing 2 Point Campus with my wife.
Oh
And
yeah, nice, yeah.
And I've been
Yep.
playing it in sandbox mode, and that's been a lot of good fun as well. Yeah, no, just been playing the odd little games here and there. Been obviously tried with UV Rising recently.
Vampires.
Playing
Good
the new
game.
content from Final Fantasy 14 at the moment, which has been crazy at the moment. They've just introduced something called Island Sanctuary, where it's basically Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley on an island. Pretty much. I actually have an island at the moment where I try. It's probably not as in depth as that, but it's a good start. So you have an island, you go to it, you level it up by making a garden, catching animals, making a little farm. You build buildings. Currently in mine, I have a house. I have 3 workshops for mass production of goods. I have 2 granaries to store and find the items, and I have a treehouse fort. I have a windmill and a hot tub bathhouse.
Oh, the hot tub bathhouse sounds good. I'd be
And
game
I
for
haven't
that.
finished yet. I still have another 2 levels or so ranks to go up to increase the property size of this island. I can have my minions running around on it. It's a nice little kind of stopgap when you're bored and you want to do something different, which is kind of fun.
So if
Um,
like you're the Dragoon class, do you dig up the carrots by jumping high in the air and then just dive bombing?
no, in fact, you don't need any
Lol.
classes.
That'd be
Completely,
funny.
you don't need any classes, crafting, or combat class to do this content. The only thing you need to do is have completed a certain part of the main story, and you can go in. I think that in the feature in where as long as you reach a certain level, you can visit people's Friends Islands, I think, at the moment, coming soon. Don't hold me to that because I'm still researching that one. But it's a great little feature, nice and relaxing. It's a good time sink when I'm trying to think of things to do. Because sometimes you just kind of, I feel that there's that motivational thing. If you've got so many games you want to play, but then like your motivation just dips, and you kind of go, well, I'm not doing anything. You're kind of wasting your time a little bit sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell at the moment with V Rising, which was fun with you guys. Playing Two
Yeah, I'm
Point
looking
Camp.
forward to jumping back into V Rising, play
was
more
good
of
fun.
that, and getting you up to speed. Yeah.
And then I've just downloaded Like a Dragon, prepping for the Witcher playthrough, no swords run,
Nice.
which is fun. Like, and then yeah, coming up probably in the next couple of months. There's a couple of games which I think I'll mention in the next podcast because I think that's probably a good thing to keep to its own section. Otherwise, I'll spend hours talking about that stuff.
Talk about things that we're looking forward to. Yeah, that's a good idea.
But
It might be interesting to do a good reflection podcast too.
Oh God, yeah, and then
how
definitely.
the year's gone, kind of thing. Yeah. So obviously some of these will cross over because Dante and I have been watching things together, and some gaming together. So some things will cross over. We have been cinema, but it's been a couple of weeks, I guess, since we've been to the cinema, right?
I'm trying to remember the last thing we saw.
I forget. But we've been to like a little bit of a kind of a Netflix TV series kind of binge watch. So we started watching Sabrina on Netflix because Dante's dad recommended it, and we're hooked on it. We're in like season 3 now. It's so dark. It's so different to the Melissa Hart Sabrina. It's like so different. It's like, oh my God, it's my childhood like this. I was not expecting it to be as dark as it was. But it's really
smarmy Salem talking cat. That's what I wanted.
I did miss a talking Salem. But I'm really, really enjoying it. I think we're on season 3 now, and season 2 ended a little bit crazily. And I was like, holy crap, you just dropped a big bomb. Okay, where's that going to go?
If it crosses over into Riverdale, though, we're going to have to watch that again.
Riverdale, I don't know. Too much teen drama in Riverdale for my liking. I think that's why it didn't really hook me as much. But of course, they're teenagers, so there is the occasional teen drama, but they move on pretty quickly to the actual, witchcraft, which is why you're there. It's why you bought the ticket for entry. So yeah, really enjoying Sabrina. Really enjoying that. We actually started watching the first 2 episodes, right, of She-Hulk. And also House of Dragon. We watched the first 2 episodes of that. Even though I wasn't going to jump in on it, because I will admit the ending of Game of Thrones broke my heart, especially with how they destroyed Daenerys' character. I'm still not over that. I don't care how many years later it is. I'm not over. I really did. I'm not over how they destroyed what was one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones. I'm still pissed at how they butchered her character. So I was a little bit like, I don't know if I want to watch it and commit because they're just going to break my heart again. I know it. But one of my colleagues at work was like, it's actually really good. So I was like, okay, I'll download it and watch it. And it's okay. Like, it's weird seeing Matt Smith with long white hair.
Legolas hair.
Yeah, Legolas hair. And it's really disturbing to see him get down and dirty. I don't want to see that with Matt Smith. I still consider him to be the Doctor. So it's really weird. But I like the cast. The cast is good. And it's Game of Thrones, right? So it's intrigue and political meanderings and stuff. And there's more dragons, which is cool because obviously it's House of Dragon. So I'm looking forward to seeing more dragon fights in the air. I want to see dragon dog fighting. I want to see that. So far so good. We've only watched the first 2 episodes, so I still think it's too early to make a decision. Right.
And She-Hulk was funny enough as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed She-Hulk. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Like the writing is okay, is good. I like the actress who plays her. She's very good. She's funny. And the banter between her and Bruce, was really good. You believe that they were cousins. Yeah. And I am actually quite enjoying the whole breaking the fourth wall kind of elements to it, which apparently is because we were like, really, come on now, only Deadpool can do that, but actually apparently that's quite faithful to
That
She-Hulk
did
in the
happen in the
comics.
comics,
Yeah,
yeah.
apparently, which I didn't know because I know very little about She-Hulk. But so far, I'm enjoying it. So long as they don't do Supergirl season 1, where they constantly ram it down your throat about how much better she is because she's a woman. And all men are monsters. You know, I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't want that. I don't need that agenda. Just tell good stories, right? Good characters, good stories. So I hope it won't be that, and it'll. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be. But yeah, subtle is good. Subtle is best. So yeah. So far, I've enjoyed them.
I've just remembered the last cinema movie. It was Bullet Train. That was awesome.
Oh, that was so good.
I saw that.
Oh, that was so good.
Tangerine was my favorite character.
Yeah.
yeah.
When I first saw them, it was like, these characters go, but they grew on you so fast. It was so fun.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah, the cast was fabulous. The writing was so cleverly done as well. Like, I loved how all these characters come from separate things and they just kept overlapping quite randomly. And like, yeah, just really funny, but really dark at the same time. And it made me super miss Japan. It made me nostalgic for bullet trains and just all the little Easter eggy references to Japan. All the tiny things and stuff. Like, so I got it on a...
didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, when we went to Tokyo, I think we went on a bullet train.
Did we go from Tokyo to Osaka?
Yes, I think you guys flew into Tokyo, I think, and I met you at Tokyo, I think.
Yep, and then we
bullet trained, to Osaka. Yeah, we got normal train to Kyoto and places, but we did bullet train, which was awesome. I miss bullet trains; they're amazing. They're super comfortable as well. Obviously,
we might get one eventually when I'm 70.
Yes, maybe. I don't think our country's big enough or long enough to require one, but maybe. So.
Do you know what? Looking at my Netflix list, I actually have seen some new things. Like I did watch Spriggan and Tekken Bloodline.
Oh, was Tekken Bloodline any good? Because I'm sort of semi-interested in that.
So it is a retelling of Tekken 3. So if you've never played Tekken 3,
I've not played any of the games. Too technical for me.
It's not really spoilers, but the premise is that you're watching the character Jin Kazama, who is Kazuya's son. Kazuya is was the main character in Tekken 1, and I think the main boss in Tekken 2. There's like there's a lot of like bad blood between the Mishima line, which is what Kazuya's family name is. So Jin
don't tell me the story because I'm going to want to watch it.
Yeah,
so I don't need to know. Anyway. Spoilers. It's fine.
It does follow the game. So
the
combat is great because it's very.
I hope so.
Well, the combat pretty much is what the games do. So when you're seeing some of these moves, you are seeing what the moves they are performing in the game. So that's pretty nice. The only gripe I would probably have with it so far is it's only about, I think, 6 episodes. I would like to have seen a bit more. I don't know if that means that they might be doing more seasons, so they might continue the story, which would be interesting. I mean, the opening is quite catchy. I do like that. I would have liked to have seen more characters. You'll see why when you watch it, but I feel like they didn't have enough characters being showcased. I mean, I know there might be a fine line to how many they can show off, maybe, and not feel like it's like a cop out or fan service. But I feel like they could have had a few more interactions with people because there's a lot of plot in there from the games in terms of how they interact.
Other thing I was super looking forward to in Netflix, obviously, which I know you're looking forward to, Dante, is Dragon Prince, right?
The Dragon Prince.
I have watched that. I'm looking forward to that one. I've watched all 3 seasons.
Yeah, we're gonna watch them through again.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we'll probably need a recap.
Yeah, they're not that long, so we'll probably just rewatch them all again, like what we did with Game of Thrones before the last season. But hopefully, it won't end like that.
Yeah, he does look very different, doesn't he? Now.
It's a time skip, isn't it? So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I like it when shows do a time skip. I like that in Naruto when they did that, and I like seeing that. So I'm kind of all down for a whole 3-year time skip, them being a little bit older and seeing where the world is at. So yeah, because it was weird because last season it really did end. I mean, it had some unresolved storylines, obviously, but like their story, their journey, like it pretty much ended, right? Like they did what they set out to do, sort of. So I'm intrigued now to see where it's gonna go. So it should be good. But yeah, it looks great.
You know what? Also, speaking of that, look, Castlevania, the new one is coming soon. I don't know exactly
There's another
when.
one coming.
There's a new Castlevania. There's a teaser trailer, and it shows, I
Is
believe,
it a spin-off?
it's Simon Belmont.
Simon's back.
You knew they were going to do Simon at some point.
Yeah.
He's the most famous one.
When you see Simon Belmont, he looks like a cross between obviously Trevor and.
Well, at least he won't be like Simon Belmont from Captain N.
Oh God. No one.
That's the Simon Belmont I grew up with because I watched Captain N as a kid. I never played Castlevania, so I'm like, he's a wuss.
I know. Just like a disclaimer now for anyone who's never seen Captain N. If you, this is like an age thing. I've seen Captain N. I grew up.
I love it. It was my guilty pleasure. I loved it.
But for those who've never seen it, it is a cartoon which, on paper, sounds cool. You are a person who jumps into the video game universe. There's Mega Man. There's Kid Icarus. There's like Simon Belmont from Castlevania, and they are done stupidly. There's the worst.
They made up a princess or something, didn't they?
Didn't
at some point? Didn't they have Samus turn up at some point? Wasn't Samus in it?
Metroid was the main boss.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mother Brain.
Mother Brain was the baddie. I can't remember if Samus ever turned up.
Yeah,
but
I love it. I think she did. I think her and Zelda were like best mates or something.
Yeah, they kept crossing over Link and
or maybe I'm thinking of Samus. I don't know. I don't remember. So long ago. Because they did have a crossover, I think, between Captain N and the Zelda series, right? Which was so bad.
Don't you?
Well, excuse me, princess. I fucking love it. And I love the fact that Angry Joe did that in his Breath of the Wild review, which is awesome. But yeah, it was my guilty childhood, pleasure. We all have them. That was mine.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed all these seasons of the Castlevania animated show, and this could be fun to watch. I also watched the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Oh, was that any good? That's on our list.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, really? That good? Okay, it's going higher on our list, Dante. It's moving up.
I guarantee you, any emotional scene you've ever watched in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV shows you've seen, this literally is like what you're gonna go. What? There's some good humor in it. The humor's still there. Okay. They do some nice character development, and it is literally taking on what the ending of the TV show did. And there's some really good development. So I would say it's definitely worth watching. It's on Netflix, so I watched it. I won't say any more than that, but I say definitely you need to watch it. If you enjoyed Rise, you should watch this definitely.
Yeah, we didn't quite finish off the CG version, and then they brought out another.
Yeah, we did.
Turtle series afterwards, didn't they?
I liked the series that we were watching, but didn't it go into space or something?
Yeah, and then it felt
and that's when we stopped watching it. We're like, what the hell's going on? Okay.
Because to be honest, every version has done some crazy bullshit.
I know. But we do need to get...
The show itself was pretty much saying, main plot gets paused, let's move on to some side stuff, and then we'll come back to the main plot, and I think we lost interest.
I totally shipped April and Donatello, I'm just saying. I totally shipped them.
Donnie for the win.
Donnie for the win. I love Donnie. But yeah, so okay, we'll definitely check that out and add that higher up on our list. We've been watching lots of stuff and trying to but we've been trying let's watch this and finish this and then we'll move on to something else rather than juggling multiple seasons because then it gets a bit messy. We've been trying to do that. Gaming wise, dude, man, my life is crazy at the moment. I mean, good crazy. I mean, obviously the channel's been very busy over the last couple of weeks. So it's one of the reasons I haven't been streaming as much, just because I've had more content to make, and I've bitten the indie bug. This year, some of the best gaming experiences I've had have been indie titles. So my game of the year list is going to be very interesting. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of different. I've been playing like a lot of demos and things, and checking out games coming out on Steam, and be like, this game's amazing. I actually want to cover this game, kind of thing. So like two most recent things I've been sort of checking out were Steel Rising. I played the closed beta on that last weekend, which is by Spiders, which is the team that did Greedfall, which is a really awesome RPG. I consider them like the BioWare of old. You know, when BioWare was good. Sorry. But yeah, you know, like good worlds, good characters, good storytelling. But they've created this like game called Steel Rising, which is coming out actually this month on the 8th of September. And it's cool. You know me, I love my history, right? So it's set in like alternative history for France during the French Revolution. And you play like this I guess robot, like automation called Aegis, and the king's gone a bit cray. And he's basically to crush the revolution and subjugate his masses. He's basically created this horrendous robotic army that's just rampaging through Paris. And
like you do.
Yeah, and you're basically the bodyguard of Marie Antoinette, and she kind of tasks you with basically finding out what's going on and then stopping the king and stopping this. It's like it's a challenging action RPG, so it's definitely got Souls-like elements to it. But what's really, really cool, if you're not a big fan of Souls-like games, is the developer have actually put a lot of accessibility features in there, so you can tweak and fine-tune the settings. So one of the functions, obviously, in Souls-like games, often, which puts people off, is when you die, you lose, right, your resources. So you drop your life force, that you use to level up your weapons and your character. And you have to go back to where you died and pick them up, right? And if you die along the way, you lose it for good. You can actually turn that feature off in Steel Rising, which is awesome. You can fine-tune the game to how much damage enemies do to you, how much damage you do. You can tweak this game to your preferred play style, which is really freaking cool. And then just the combat and the gameplay, it was really awesome. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And then I checked out another game today called Solstice, which I thought you would quite enjoy, Edge. It's like an action action game. It's like Devil May Cry style action. So it's like these two sisters and your chimera. So your sister sacrificed herself and is connected to you as like a spirit, and she like can use magic and spiritual magic to defend and attack and whatever. It's really, really good. Like, I played it on Steam for an hour and I'm like, I'm actually really enjoying this. And there's like, I've just been playing a lot. Like, I played Cult of the Lamb like a couple of weeks ago and freaking love that. Like Stray, I love Stray and streamed it, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I've kind of bit the indie bug, which is funny. I'm obviously still going to be playing a lot of big games coming out. Obviously, I'm definitely going to be playing Splatoon 3 in September. We played the Splatfest, right? Like this Saturday, was it?
The kind of preview for the Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very much enjoying that. And then obviously, yeah, so I'm looking forward to Splatoon 3, and then obviously really looking forward to other games, but we'll talk about that in the next podcast. I don't want to give any spoilers away for what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I've been like, it's been kind of cool because I've been like, do you know what? My channel is also a great platform to showcase these games. And like, I've had a lot of people going, I did not hear of this game. This looks awesome. I'm going to check it out and pick it up, kind of thing. And then I've had people feedback after they've played the game going, I loved it. Amazing. So yeah, one of my goals this year was to play more indie games and showcase it on the channel. And I'm actually doing that now. So I'm really happy that like I can use my channel as a platform for that. Which is really awesome. And I started a new series as well, which is like add these like 7 indie games to your wish list, and I'm kind of trying feature new titles every month kind of thing. So yeah, like it's going well so far, which has been really good. But I like them because sometimes you get burnt out by absolutely massive RPGs, right? Games that take you like case in point, Dante will talk about the other one that we're playing at the moment, which is absolutely friggin' huge. But like, it's nice sometimes to pick up a game that's just really well done and finish it in like 10, 15 hours, and it's very well priced. It's really enjoyable ride, and that's been really nice to have.
And a tick off the list. Next.
Tick, yeah. Not instead of adding to my absolutely ginormous backlog that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger like every single year. So it's been nice to have that this year, and I've played and beaten a lot of very good games. So our end of the year review discussion is going to be very interesting, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know, in terms of what's going. I still haven't decided what my. There's no clear contender for Game of the Year right now.
Still more than a year to go.
Yeah, I know, and that's very unusual because usually I'm at this point here, I'm going, yeah, I totally know what my Game of the Year is without a doubt, and now I'm like, I have no friggin' idea. So it's going to be. There's still a good number of games coming up. So, but yeah,
Stray,
it's been
the
good.
cat game.
No, it's not my Game of the Year. Spoilers. But yeah, you obviously Dante. I've been sat watching you play Dante and really enjoying it.
Yeah, generally. Although I've been picking at other games here and there, I'm a good 110 hours deep into Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Which is amazing.
And it's just so good. I can't get enough of it. It's brilliant. And yeah, from the storyline to how the mechanics of the battling go and everything, it's even better after playing 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it just flows so well, and also there's obviously some links and Easter eggs and this and that if you've played the previous games, and it just brings out more like going.
It does.
we've had a lot of those
does.
moments where we
have. We had a moment like that last night.
Just go, oh.
Yeah, I got a bit emotional at some points. It's been really good. The characters are just so well written.
Yeah,
so good.
Like after the first game, it was like, oh, those were a good bunch of characters. These new ones, they might be okay. And then it was like playing 2. It's like, these are my favoriteest characters in the world now.
Amazing, yeah.
And then 3 comes along, and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get along with these guys. And then everyone's got like brilliant fleshed out backstories. The voice acting is amazing, all very, very English in various regions.
Yeah.
And the jokes are on point. They're just little odds and sods. But then it's also very JRPG. You've got insane plots and twists and all sorts going off. And you're like,
it's very
what
good.
is happening? And it's and then I'd kind of feel a bit bad about anyone not playing the first 2 games, even mechanic wise, because it's got the same kind of battle systems, but they've added more and more. So it looks complicated, but
when I first saw like the gameplay on it, I was like, God, that looks so complicated, and that's too much for me. When I first saw it, and I was like, oh, how are you? There's too many people on the map. It's too. Why do we need 6 companions? We've only ever had 3. We don't need 6. 6 is too many. And now I'm like, why haven't I always had 6 companions? So like the gameplay is just, I mean, obviously you're the one playing it, Dante, and you make it look easy, I will say. You make it look swish as you're doing it. I probably couldn't play it as well as you do, because it's too much multitasking for me.
What I really liked about this one, it's like they've you can tell they've took on comments from the players and all that on board.
Yeah.
Because you've got like actual decent tutorials. You can reread tutorial tips, but then it's also got like a training mode for doing the techniques and that. And it's like, where was this in the first 2 games? This is amazing. It's like you forget to do anything, or you're not sure how the combos work.
I completely agree with that, because when we played Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, I would have loved a training mode to be able to like learn the mechanics, because some of the difficulty spikes were absolutely nuts. And it was like, how am I supposed to learn the combat techniques and work out which worked well with what? It was nuts back then. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do want to play it because, I mean, visually, I love the open world mechanic.
You would love... Have you played any of the Chronicles games?
I've only really played Chronicles X, and I do have Xenoblade 1 on the Wii, which I've never actually played.
So Xenoblade Chronicles, obviously, it's a trilogy. So 1, 2, 3, they say, yes, they're their own self-contained stories and worlds, and they are. You know, you don't have to play 1 or 2, you know, before you play 3. But 3, more than, I would say 2 was its own world, right? Its own characters until you got to the end. and then it started to make links into the first one, didn't it? You're like, oh my god, kind of thing. But 3 is very much like it is making so many little head nods and references to things. You're like, oh my god,
the first 2
like,
games,
yeah, and like, what does that mean? Like, and so definitely, if you're interested, I would say for sure you would be doing a disservice if you didn't play 1 and 2, and they are big games, so I admit it's a big commitment of time. I do admit
because they've never gone down in value. Because
it's Nintendo for you, but they're worth it. I would say they're still worth it.
But
for me.
with the first one, definitely go for the newer release Switch version, the definitive edition, because that came after 2. So any like quality of life improvements they made in 2, they added to 1.
But I lent Fish my copy of 2, so when Fish is done with my copy of 2, like you're more than happy to borrow it, and we have the definitive edition.
Actually,
here.
I've got
so you could just lend the definitive edition from Dante, and you could lend Xenoblade Chronicles 2 from me, because by the time you've finished definitive edition, Fish hopefully will have finished 2, and then we will be way done with 3, and then you can just borrow 3 off of us. So you don't need to buy them yourself. Please play them; they're really good. Yeah, as a JRP player, you would love them. I know for a fact that you would love them.
I've played so many JRPGs, and it's nice to be able to play them. It's just sometimes like 7 or 8 will come out at once, or like they'll be like it's like a drought. And
I agree with you. Sometimes it's just too many.
There's been a drought actually this year so far, I think, because I tried playing Edge of Eternity, which was on Game Pass. It came out in February. I'm still slowly playing through that. It's a small development team, ambitious what they've done, and I'm still not being quite drawn in yet. I'm gonna try and give it more of a chance later on, but I'm in no rush to keep playing that at the moment. There's like a couple more coming out maybe this year. I mean, they're releasing Trails of Zero, the remakes of the PSP games in English now. And I've been playing Trails of Cold Steel on the PS3.
Yeah, I've got the first one. I need to get back to that.
Oh,
one of my other. I mean, obviously, I've been so focused on getting Xenoblade done, right? So we've put like hundreds of hours into that. But actually, I will say this year I've been better at my backlog this year. So I'm determined. Every year I'm going to beat at least 2 games out of my backlog. I am determined, because it's never going to go down. But
I really want to try and get through the backlog of the old ones, because there's like 3 from the PSP days, which is the original Trails in the Sky. Then there's the 2 Zero ones, and once I've played through those, it's then back onto Trails of Cold Steel, because I've got all 4 of those. And then it goes straight on to the new one that's already out in Japan for like the last 2 years. And then the new Crossbell Story Arc. So for me, I've got my RPG fix. People are saying, oh, FF7 Remake Part 2. I'm like, well, no, their stuff has got such a great backstory that I'm fine. But it's been a bit of a drought for me personally. If anyone recommends any JRPGs or things I haven't played, certain ones, by the way, you'd be surprised how many I've played. But if anyone recommends any JRPGs, please by all means in the comments below. I'm happy to take a look at them, because I'm always interested in looking for that next cool fix. Because I do love playing those sort of games.
I wait to play The Witcher 3 and get that
I'm gonna be playing
It's not a JRPG, but it's a commitment. It's a big game.
I got you into them, technically.
Yeah, you did. You let me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
did.
And
then like you played my copy, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I went back to play it, and then I was like, okay, now Free's out. I'll play 3. And then I stopped, and I was like, oh, okay.
You didn't get out of like White Orchard, did you?
Yeah, I got out of White Orchard. I went to the first.
Did you meet the Bloody Baron then?
No, I went outside the orchard, and I went to play some Gwent, killed some guys in the local town, and then went, okay, this is fine, and stopped.
Oh, you need to get back
stop the plot.
You need to.
I was like, why
really
am I hunting this? Why am I doing this wild hunt again? Why am I?
Once you start like getting there and then jump into Siri, and then it's just.
Siri's running away from me. Why am I chasing after her? She doesn't want to talk to me. Fine, okay, no problem.
She's your teenage daughter. Well, she's actually a grown adult at this point, but she started off as your teenage daughter. She's not really his daughter. It's a whole thing. They'll fill it in. Just play it. It's a whole thing. It's really good.
I'm
But
not
yeah,
sure,
don't start any more JRPGs until you beat The Witcher 3. Those are the rules.
That's not rules I'm going to follow because I'll be playing. I mean, I'm playing fucking Final Fantasy 14.
I know you are, but you've been playing that for years.
Yeah, because it's a good fucking game.
I know it is, but I can't get into that. I don't have the time.
Oh yeah, I'll keep playing at this story, and it's like, no, okay, fair enough.
If you beat The Witcher 3, I will join you for Final Fantasy 14.
Bullshit.
Regularly. No, I will put it in writing. I will put it in writing, in paper. I will sign a contract right now. I'm deadly serious. Now. Yes. If you play and beat The Witcher 3, including all the DLC, I will play. Yes.
More and more shit here.
Yes, I will play Final Fantasy 14 every week with you.
Which is a much bigger game than Witcher.
Exactly. But I will.
Yes and no, because I mean, to be really honest, you just do the main story and it's fine. But
true, that's probably what I'm interested in. But yeah.
Oh yeah, because the main story is bloody good. I guarantee you. Like, I jokingly said to you that Mass Effect 3 had the bullshit insaneness. This beats that completely.
Oh yeah.
You're like, how? I'm like, it's fucking Final Fantasy. What do you expect?
If you want me to find out, you just have to beat The Witcher 3. That's simple as.
that's just like blackmail and harassment.
Yes, that's fine. We've been friends long enough. I'm allowed to blackmail you. That's the rule.
Oh, I was just like, you need to play Resident Evil 8 because you played through all the Resident Evils. You got to do a let's play of that Edge.
Have you seen what I've been doing on my channel recently with my Halloween tournament thing? Have you been voting? Have you voted on any of them? You should
I have voted for the most terrifying one, and I'm not telling what it is.
Okay, you'll have to tell me whether or not it wins.
Literally, I've been voting multiple times with different accounts.
Have you really? Just to make sure I play something super scary.
Oh yeah, it's the worst scary one. You'd be like, "What is it? Oh my god! Why would my audience pick this?" They haven't. I did.
They haven't. Edge has
it
by
was
voting
5
50
edges.
Calling up to 500 votes so far.
It's been fun though. It's been interesting to watch like the voting from the community, or should I say just Edge. It is me thinking like there's 90 people voting and it's just Edge like 80 times and maybe 10 people. But it's been like really interesting to see like all of the different votes, and some of the results have been surprising for me. Like some of the games that have won, and then obviously I'm going to do one for the multiplayer, because I want to do Spooktober streams the whole month of October. So I want to do single player and multiplayer streams. So it'll be interesting when we get the multiplayer, because it's going to be quarterfinals. I've got 8 games that we can vote on. And then it'll go to semis and then final. So
I'm intrigued if Resident Evil 4 wins, because
it's not right now. Dead Space is winning.
Well,
against Resident Evil 4.
You're gonna, no offense to my language now, you're going to be fucking shitting yourself.
That's fine. It's fine. I've signed up for it. I know. I don't do horror, but I've signed up for it because I think it'll be fun.
The last time I played,
with a slightly high pitch, slightly desperate kind of scared tone.
The last time I played Dead Space was the co-op version, and I regret every second of it.
I'm going to line up a Disney movie to watch after every stream, because I'm not going to be able to go to bed after playing it. No way, I'll have nightmares. But I am looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun thing. I think it'll be fun to stream it with the community.
I played Dead Space 3 and I had co-op in it, and I was like, oh sweet Jesus, no. It's terrifying.
Interesting.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, it's terrifying whichever one you play. The first one is the most iconic for scare factor. Second one was pretty good. Third one was like, oh my god, what? So yeah, pretty much, I will not be playing them. No, you
can watch me play them and laugh in the comments. That's fine.
Oh yeah, it's my turn.
I did it to you. I did it to you, so it's your turn. It's only fair play, because I did it to you when you were playing Resident Evil 5.
No need
just
for the
give
monster
it a hug,
baby.
Edge. It's fine. She's just hungry. She's got a bit of wind. Just pat her back. She'll be fine.
Terrifying, crazy baby.
That was her. That baby was so freaking crazy. No way. But yeah, so it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
They are introducing third-person mode to that game as well, so
that makes it more interesting.
I say that's going to be more terrifying in certain points.
I hate first-person horror. I think third-person I deal with a lot better.
Tactically, you can use it to see what's going around the corners. That's true. But generally speaking, like, it will be interesting to see how it works mechanically with third-person mode because I loved playing third-person. I mean, if they put third-person mode into Resi 7, which I don't, you know what? I don't think they should because I think it loses some of the scare factor if you put it into third person. Because I played through 7, and 7 I had this love-hate with at the beginning.
Oh God, 7's horrendous.
And then 8 was more like it was like Resident Evil 4. So there were points where I'm like, okay, this I can deal with, this I can kind of work with. Oh my God, 8 was terrifying at points for me.
The baby bit for me was the worst bit.
Baby and the Robot Factory was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Fun
times.
But I enjoyed it. I actually did enjoy 8. I might go back and play it again, but the werewolves were quite creepy. But yeah, I mean, horror game wise, I'm not planning to play anything horror wise except the multiplayer games with you guys when you used to pick them.
Yeah. So we'll have to once the voting's all sorted and like we know what's won. I want to like the single player. I want to play it through to completion. So I may like stream 2 single player streams and 1 multiplayer stream a week, depending on everybody's availability. Right. We'll see how it goes, but probably in September. I can't see me doing many streams because obviously we're going away on holiday for like a week and a half, and I've got other content I'm needing to get done for the channel, so I can't see it being regular streaming in September. So October is probably going to be when I properly get into like a regular stream schedule, but it'll be cool to do like a themed horror stream month. Then in November we'll go from there and see where we're gonna go.
Well, I'm gonna do I think we should do like an advent calendar kind of gaming event for Christmas. Like as we get like the 12 days before Edgemas or something like that. And like literally every behind each door is a random game I have to play or we have to play or talk about or.
Oh, I like that idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, and then we'll like stream it?
Yeah, to stream it, and you're like, on the 7th day of Edgemas, like we all played this. What the hell?
That's cool. Who would pick the games? Would they just be randomly picked, or will we let the community?
Do we own them in the first place?
I would say I will work this out, and we'll do an announcement of that at some point. But I would say probably,
I like that idea. That's a great idea.
I'd probably get someone like maybe Strife or Fish to maybe organize the games that are voted for, or maybe I would know what they are to a degree, and then kind of because it's Edgemas, I would then go open the first door, Kate. You open them, it's like, oh my God, we're playing this game. Yes, we are. All right, let's go. And then just kind of.
They have to be games that we own for sure. They have to be games that we own, but we can sort that out. That's cool.
Yeah, any games that we didn't own, we could. Yeah, and it could be board games as well. Actually, I think that'd be could be fun as well. But mainly video games, I think, would be the thing. But yeah, no, I think that would be quite a good fun one, and it's again a little bit of a idea generating there. Right, I think we should probably end the podcast here because it's been about 45 minutes, give or take.
Okay. Babbled for some time.
Yes.
I'm hoping that everyone who has been listening to the podcast when it does go up on the channel has enjoyed it. If you want to see more, or if you have anything you want to ask or see in the next podcast, please leave comments. Please join and add some feedback to it. I will be streaming more games at some point. Generally speaking, at the moment, my kind of plans that I have right now is I want to still try and make content that people enjoy, and it's self-discovery at the moment because streaming is kind of alright, but no one seems to, maybe because I need to maybe promote it more, but it's hard to find games that are interesting for people to watch. So I like doing like little snippet video plays. So if you want to see any particular content, please leave feedback because the channel can only grow if you guys kind of share what you think you want me to do. And Kate and Dante have always been quite supportive of what I'm doing, despite the fact I'm a massive troll.
Off the cliff.
I tell
in
you
every
what,
Borderlands game. Yes.
I tell you this now, guys. If 50 people join and then leave feedback, I will drive Kate and Dante off a cliff. In the next Halo game, I will drive them off Halo 3.
You're gonna do it anyway, but yeah.
ODST. You tell me what you want me to do to those two in a Halo play, and I will do it.
Right.
So join, and I will. If you want me to run over Kate several times, join the channel and tell me what you want me to do, and I will do it for
It's
you guys.
only revenge for the times I ran over you, to be fair.
Because 50 times,
Or shot you in the back with a shotgun.
You
so
shot
you know.
me in the ass.
It was great, though. It was a brilliant moment. It was an awesome moment.
If you want me to troll
yes.
Kate, you give me the ammunition, and I will do it. That's the premise now of my channel. No, it's not. It's too terrible. That's like my channel has become nothing but just memes on Kate. That's
The anti-Kate channel. Thanks. Feeling the
Yeah.
love.
Feeling the love.
It's fine.
But I hope you've enjoyed the channel. Thank you again to Kate and Dante for joining.
No worries.
I have some feedback. I'm hoping that the next one I do will be probably next Wednesday. But if there isn't one, I will put like a time up scale of when the next one is. And then it's just kind of, again, similar vein, unless any topics come in on the bottom comments to kind of go through. But I think, as always, thank you very much. This is goodbye from me, and
goodbye from me. And as I always say,
also me.
Happy gaming, everyone. I've got to get that in before Edge says it because it is copyrighted to me.
It is
Even though he stole it on the last few videos he uploaded, it didn't ask my permission.
We noticed.
How rude.
Well, I mean,
you don't own that phrase, though.
It's fine, I'm joking. I really don't. Like a million other content creators use it, so I really don't own it. I'm just trolling you because revenge.
I can't say Johnny, that's what Dante says.
Johnny! Yeah, that's true.
I used it, and then I remember some random person commented, it's like, oh my god, I really loved it when he said Johnny, because this other YouTuber says it as well. And I'm like, really?
Really? Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, sorry to end that funnily, but yes. Bye, everyone.
You should go, like, no. Channel. But anyway, have a fantastic evening, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the first podcast. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, as always, fun gaming.
Troll gaming.
I'm trolling. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.